guys, how are you? Today we're going to do a very exciting activity. We're going to make some dinosaur bones. So it is the start of spring and mommies and daddies will be out in the garden, getting the garden all lovely for the new flowers and the new seeds that they're going to plant. So they're going to be doing a lot of digging. So I thought maybe we can help mommy and daddy in the garden and we can hide some dinosaur bones and then we can dig up all the flower beds to help look for them. But not too much. We can do the digging with mommy and daddy, but we don't want to mess up the garden either. So we are going to make our dinosaur bones with the old reliables, flour, water and salt. So we are going to start with the flour. You can use, for this recipe, you use 1 part water and salt for every 2 parts of flour. So you can use 1 cup of flour and a half a cup of salt and then a half a cup of water. So I am actually going to use half a cup of flour and then a 1/4 cup of salt and a 1/4 cup of water. So I'm going to start with the flour. There we go. There's our half a cup. Then our salt. Very happy I got loads of salt in the shopping because I am using loads of it. So again, whenever we're finished making the dough, we put these in the oven. So because we're using salt and flour and water, we're not supposed to eat these because they'd be very sore in our teeth. If we crunch them, they might break our teeth. But it's not the end of the world if we put them in our mouths either. Now, there we go. And then for our water, the same one, a 1/4 cup of water. And there, lovely. So again, lovely messy activity. So we have to be very, very careful to be nice and tidy and neat and not throw it everywhere if we're making this in the house. Or if it's a nice day, we could go out to the garden and make just a little bit of a mess, not a big, big mess. But we can be a little bit less tidy if we do it in the garden. So just like our Play-Doh, we're using our hands and fingers to mix all the wet ingredients, which is just the water. We mix that up with the dry ingredients, which are our salt and flour. So I'm trying to keep these all on the plate. Nice little mixy there. And then we can start bringing them all together. And making it into a dough. And again, if we feel that we need to put more flour on, if it's a bit sticky, we can do that. Or if it's a bit dry, we can get a bit more water. Now, I think I might get just a little bit more flour, sprinkle it on top there. It was just sticking to my hands a little bit. Now, and there is a lovely bit of sun coming in from the window now, which is lovely to see. That means it's perfect weather for going out to the garden and hiding my dinosaur bones and then going on an adventure to go find it. Just thinking what I'll need to find my dinosaur bones. I have to see if I have all my explorer's equipment, because I need all that stuff if I want to go on a big adventure. Now, whenever we have our dough, and it's kind of like Play-Doh, you can mold it together like that. I'm trying to think now what kind of dinosaur bones I can make. I can roll it together and make a big bone like you see the dogs eating in cartoons or like in Paw Patrol. Or you can make something that looks like a bone. It doesn't have to be exactly what bones look like. Because sometimes if bones are very, very old and they're left in the ground for years and years and years, they can break. So maybe you could make half a bone. I could make a big tooth, like a T-Rex's tooth. Or you could make a few ribs, because sometimes whenever explorers and archaeologists find dinosaur bones, they just find a couple of them at a time and they think, oh, this belongs to a big dinosaur, even though it's a tiny little bone. So you could do a few ribs, or if you have loads of dough left, or if you made loads and loads of dough, you could make a dinosaur egg or a dragon's egg. There we go. I wonder what kind of baby dinosaur would hatch from this. I would love to find that in my garden. Oh wow, he's so interesting. Now, so whenever you're finished making your eggs or making your dinosaur bones, your shapes, you ask Mommy and Daddy to very carefully put them in the oven at 180 degrees for, it says half an hour for every inch of thickness, but I put my ones in for half an hour and they were grand. And then they will come out looking like, I'll move them away. Clean my hands. They will come out looking like this. And you can hear, see, they're nice and hard, just like real dinosaur bones. So if we go into the garden and bury these, it'd be so cool to find these. So we have, could be leg bone, could be an arm bone. They look a bit like dog biscuits, but they're not. This is an egg that's gone a little bit wonky, but it still looks like a cool dinosaur's egg. And a little foot, and you can use this to make little prints, even with paint, or you can make, if you have your dinosaur toys home with you, I don't have my toys home with me, I must have left them somewhere, you can get a bit of the dough, kind of rub it into a ball and flatten it out, and then you can get your dinosaur toys and press their feet on them so you can make little footprints, then put them in the oven. Or you could get a stegosaurus and push it down onto it. You can get a stegosaurus toy and push it down onto it, and then you have a stegosaurus fossil. So we have another skull, a few ribs, and we have a few more, just don't know where the bones come from or what kind of dinosaurs the bones came from. We can look them up whenever we find them all. So then another very important thing, whenever we have all our dinosaur bones and eggs hidden in our garden, whenever explorers go looking for dinosaur bones, they can be very precious and they can break very easily. So you might see on the telly, if they find them and they're trying to brush all the dirt and all the sand away from them, they have a paintbrush. So we can go out with our paintbrush, an old paintbrush that Mommy and Daddy say we're allowed to use, and we can brush all the sand and all the dust off them very carefully because we don't want them to break. And what else could we need? If we were going exploring, we need a little shovel, but not a big shovel because we don't want it to break into our bones and snap them. So I have my little shovel, then I'm going to dig up all my soil, and I have, very importantly, I have my magnifying glass. So if I think I see something, I'll get my shovel, I'll move the dirt away, I'll get my brush, I'll brush the rest of the sand away, and I'll say, wow, look at that! Look at this Tyrannosaurus Rex fossil! So cool! If I am going to go exploring, what do I need? Oh, I know, I need a satchel. to bring all my stuff. I need my explorer's satchel. So I have my satchel, and I'm going to put in my magnifying glass, my little spade, my shovel, very important, my brush. It's going to be my satchel just like Dora. Or, you know who I could be like? I could be just like Indiana Jones, my favourite archaeologist, going out to look for some dinosaur bones. So once you have your paintbrush, shovel, magnifying glass, bag and explorer's hat, you are ready to go out and find all your dinosaur bones while you're helping mommy and daddy do a bit of the gardening. Okay guys, have fun. Can't wait to hear all about your activities. Bye.